I'm going to be building my accent chairs for the office and teaching you the 3 Ps of high ticket sales and hoping that I build the chair correctly. So let's do it. In business and high ticket sales and with building something, organization. All right, let me just get the lay of the land. What? Okay, this isn't too bad. The 3 Ps of high ticket sales: product, people, and process. And it really is that simple. So what I teach my team and what I was, kind of self-taught with is you need to know your product in and out. So no matter what you're selling, what you're offering, you definitely want to know your product. You want to be confident with the product. So that can include feeling the value of the product yourself. You can't really sell or offer anything to somebody if you don't believe in it yourself, or you're just being fake, and that's gonna come through. Authenticity is really important in this space. So not only believing in the product, but really being confident with the product. And I feel like being confident in a product is not just being able to listen to something and know what it is, it's being able to properly explain it to somebody and to take a complex thing and be able to explain it in a simplistic manner. So there's that fine balance, right, of knowing a product, but you're not gonna know everything. The learning is in the doing. And that's the hardest thing that a lot of women in this space and on my team have a hard time with, of when they know it's time and they're ready. Confidence with product understanding, but also knowing that you're gonna learn a lot more along the way. You just wanna be able to sell something with confidence and integrity and informed consent and have that transparency and educational piece when you're talking to whoever you're talking to, your prospect, your client, whatever. So that's gonna be product. Multitasking is kind of hard. Okay, so that was P number 1. Product, have confidence in the product, believe in the product yourself, see the value in it, and understanding it enough where you feel as though you can present it with integrity, transparency, clarity. Next is people, okay? If you're in any form of high ticket sales, if you're selling anything to anyone, you gotta be good with people. So not only do you need to feel excited to help people, to help solve people's problems, but you really need to have a foundational understanding of how to properly communicate with people and kind of read the room. And communication is huge, right? That's a life skill. So it goes in and out. You can learn it in the high ticket sales space, you can learn it out in life, and they can recycle into each other. A huge thing about communication, it's not just the words we're saying. It's how we're saying it, it's tonality, it's body language. If you're in person, body language is everything. If you're remote sales on the phone, tonality is everything. It is something that is so palpable, so tangible if you're pushing a product, pushing a sale versus connecting with a person. People usually can sell themselves. When you offer value, when you have proper understanding of a product, and you understand the person's problems or their pain points, and you know you have a solution for them, they'll sell themselves. And again, at the end of the day, people are people, right? Everyone has their own story. These are real people who work really hard for their money. Make the person you're talking to at the center of the entire experience. It is about them. Don't rush the process. Listen, mirror, validate, empathize, build rapport. Not only is it that you need to be good with people, and it's not just about being good with people until you get the sale. You need to build rapport so that you retain the sale. Persistency is everything. Retention is everything. There's literally no point to selling anything and offering anybody anything if it's not going to be retained. So take your time in the beginning. The time's going to pass anyways. Sometimes it's kind of about the long game. And at the end of the day, it's about the person, okay? So being good with people, keeping people at the center of your why, and really listening. Sometimes you have to listen between the lines too. So that's where objection training and all things like that come in, and we'll talk about that in another video. P number 1 of the 3 Ps, we've got product knowledge, product confidence, product value, product belief. P number 2 is people. Keeping people at the center of the experience, at the center of your why, and being good with people and listening. The third P is the process. Everything has a process. Everything has a workflow, and there's a process to every step. There's a process to lead flow. There's a process to running your leads properly. There's a process to how you move someone through the discovery phase to the closing phase. There's a process to applying somebody for something or selling somebody something. And there's a process to maintaining the relationship with that person after the fact. There's a process for everything. And the biggest thing that I teach my team and that I've cultivated myself is there are ways to create a repeatable, sustainable process. And then it's just plug and play. And then you get to have fun with infusing your personality into whatever you're doing. So creating a process and a workflow is going to be really important. Let's see, attach 3 legs, C. Okay, let me get the legs before I keep going. We got 3 legs and 3 P's up in here. Honestly, product is really easy to teach and to understand. Process is something that you're going to cultivate, and it's going to be a lot of trial and error. And that's where I mean the learning is in the doing, truly. I have very different processes that I follow now in my business than I did when I first started 3 years ago, or what I even did 6 months ago. So that's something you always need to be willing to pivot and to adjust as you're paying attention to the industry you're in, the people you're interacting with, or just is something still serving you, or is there a better way to do something, a more efficient way to do something? So keeping an open mind and a beginner's mind in all senses and aspects of your business. And then the people thing, that's something I can't really teach. You're either good with people or you're not, or you work on your communication skills and your connection skills. That's something where once you understand the product and the process, then you can really, really practice how to interact with people. That's gonna be the hardest part. And a lot of people think that they're good with people, and it's not that they're not good with people, but there's a very specific way to go about that in a space with high rapport sales where you are really focusing on connections over commissions and people over pay. So that's something that is the fun part. That's how you can make high ticket sales very creative. It's how you interact with people and how you infuse your personality into your specialty and into your product. That doesn't seem dirty. We're just gonna fuck around and find out, I guess. Oh my God. It's so funny how everything connects, because it's like, when I say the learning's in the doing, that's applicable to literally anything, because I am learning a lot right now in the doing. Another thing I think about often and I like to talk about with my team, and that I vulnerably shared, was there was a long time where I didn't feel confident in when people asked me what I did and what I do, where I told people I'm in sales, or let alone I sell life insurance or tax-free retirement. I think it's really important to work on your relationship with your career and what you're doing. And also, I think this is something especially for women. There's nothing wrong with sales. There's nothing wrong with wanting to make money, and there's nothing wrong with selling something. Selling something doesn't have to be skeevy. Everybody's selling something. Literally everybody you run into is selling something. So I think it's understanding the integrity in which you approach it and who you're connecting with. As long as you feel confident that there's value in what you're offering people, then it's not selling something, it's offering something, it's giving something, it's solving a problem for somebody. You're giving, you're in the act of giving to somebody and providing value to them. So I think that a lot of women, myself included, felt kind of skeevy saying I'm in sales, because sales can have a bad rap. But I think once you believe in what you're offering and believe in the value of what you're giving people, then you're not so ashamed or embarrassed of saying, yeah, I help people with tax-free retirement. I help protect families. I offer value to people, their businesses, their families, their legacies by X, Y, and Z. So a lot of women struggle with their relationship with their career in the sales space, especially the women on my team. We talked about this a lot this week. So I think that's important, where I've worked on my relationship with my career and what I offer and what I do. And I am so confident and proud, and I say it with pride now, and that comes through. Actually, I should probably test this chair. Okay, it's comfy. It hasn't crashed to the floor. 1 of 2 done, and that was a lot easier than I thought. So I'm gonna build a second chair, And then I'm probably going to convince myself that I still need a rug in here, and then officially my office will be done. But thank you for watching me build something.